What's going on, guys? Make sure you cop the new DBN scented candle on ashkicking.com that they're promoting for the Ward versus Kovalev rematch.
It was moving.
Oh, it's all right.
Y'all live on Facebook. Say what's up real quick, man.
What's going on? What's going on, Dante Nation fans? Bo Matt.
Bo Matt, Terrence Crawford trainer right here.
Watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Y'all see it. Y'all hear it.
Boy, it's amazing how the tables have turned. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, the last time Danny Garcia was asked about Errol Spence and possibly facing Errol Spence, it was right before he was about to face an opponent that Errol Spence had already knocked out previously. And Errol Spence ended up knocking that guy out way earlier than Danny Garcia did. I forget the guy's name. That's how irrelevant the opponent was. I believe his name was Vargas, but I'm not even sure. You guys can correct me in the comment section. But this was a while ago. This was the fight that Danny Garcia had right before he faced Keith Thurman. Now, right before he faced that guy, once again, when he was asked, you know, his thoughts on possibly facing the truth Errol Spence, he said, well, you know, Errol Spence is not ready. He needs to do more. He needs to prove more. He's not on my level. I'm paraphrasing, but this is pretty much what Danny Garcia said. Now that the tables have turned and Errol Spence just knocked out Kell Brook and he's the champion to beat at welterweight right now, at least that's the consensus by the majority of boxing experts in the sport. Now the question is, what does Danny Garcia think about Errol Spence now? Does he want to fight Errol Spence? Will he fight Errol Spence? And if he doesn't want to fight Errol Spence, what will be his excuse now? I mean, it's going to be very difficult to say he's not on my level. He needs to fight better competition. He needs to do more. It's going to be very difficult to say that. Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia would be a fantastic fight. Danny Garcia, he did well against Keith Thurman. He did good, of course, against Robert Garcia. We know that Errol Spence is a different type of animal. And I truly believe personally Errol Spence would stop Danny Garcia. But at the same time, Danny Garcia is extremely dangerous because he does have that power. He has that left hook that he can close his eyes and land right on the button. So he's still very dangerous. He's still very dangerous. And once again, that would be a great fight. I mean, it really puts pressure on a fighter like Danny Garcia and other fighters at welterweight as well. When you have a champion who's willing to give you an opportunity to fight for a championship belt, how could you turn that down, right? How could you turn that down? You can't say, I gained nothing by fighting Errol Spence now, because now he's the welterweight champion of the world. And if Keith Thurman gets in the ring with Errol Spence, whoever wins that fight is the unified champion. And I think Errol Spence will win that fight. So if Errol Spence gets all the belts, then that really leaves you no excuses if the champion offers you a title fight. We'll see what'll happen. We'll see if Errol Spence gets Sean Porter in the ring. We'll see if he gets Danny Garcia in the ring. We'll see if he gets Keith Thurman in the ring. Now, Errol Spence, he did say because Keith Thurman was coming off or is coming off of an injury and, you know, he'll probably be out for 7 or 8 months. Errol Spence said he needs time to recuperate, so he'll most likely take a tune-up bout before that fight comes to fruition. Hopefully it does. I truly believe Keith Thurman, he's going to take that fight against Errol Spence. I just don't know when. Keith Thurman, he respects how good Errol Spence is, but he's the type of fighter that's willing to take the challenge. So I expect Errol Spence, I expect Keith Thurman to take that fight next year in 2018. We'll see what happens with Danny Garcia. Can't wait to hear what he has to say when it comes to his thoughts on possibly facing Errol Spence if a title fight is offered to him. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.